Okay, good morning, class. Right, so at this point, we're looking at factorization. We have a lesson on the introduction of factorization to trinomials so far, not so? Then I gave you some homework. So yesterday we didn't do any work because we didn't do no work on factorization because we looked at the exam, the cycle test 3, that you guys have written. So at this point I've given you a couple of sums for homework. Correct? Yeah, right. It was numbers 1 to 10. All of it. Exercise 3. And exercise 3 was on page. Exercise 3 is on page 39. On page 39. Alright. I'm just going to move it over a bit. Move it to the top. Right, here we go. So I'm going to refresh the rules all the time. Please let me know which rules are you confused about and so on. Okay? So let's go. Number 1. You are given x squared plus 5x plus 6. So where do we start? Start with our product line. What goes on the left hand side? 1 and 1. For 6? 2 and 3. We add or subtract our products? We add. Okay, why? Because the last term is plus. So 1 times 6 is 6, 1 times 1 is 1. You add it, you get 7. What am I looking for? 5. 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 2 is 2. You add it, you get 5. So in other words, in a bracket goes a 1 and a 2, a 1 and a 3. Not so. So it's a 1, which is an x and a 2, an x and a... What about our signs? They're going to be same signs or opposite signs? Same sign. Both is going to be opposite. Who got that right? What was your question? Yes, stay positive. Am I alright? The perimeter? Sorry? Products. Yes, the products. You see, the products you see on the side of the barrier. You see it's a 1 here. Now the factors of 1. How do we do? Two numbers multiplied by each other is 1. What are the numbers? 1 and 1. That's why I put 1 and 1. The factors of 6 is 2 times 3 is 6. And 1 times 3 is 1 times 6 is 6. That is why I got 1 and 6. Understand? But you're not here for the last lesson. Why didn't you watch the video, Mom? You had better things to do. Nice. Molly said she didn't watch the video because she had better things to do. Yes. Okay, but it's fine. Later on when I go home I'll try. But for now, and be brave. Okay. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 says x squared plus 8x plus 12. Right, what goes on the product line? 1 and 1, yes. On the other side? 1 and 12. 2 and 6. 3 and 4. You add or subtract our products? We add. Why do we add? Last term is positive. If that had been negative, we would have subtracted our products. Okay. So 1 times 12, 12. 1 times 1, 1. Gives you 13. What am I looking for? 8. 1 times 6, 1 times 2. You add it, you get 8. And that's after 1. So now, 1 and a 2 or 1 and a 6. So it's going to be x and a 2, x and a 6. What's wrong with you? Is that you?
No.
Kanya, what's wrong with you? You shouting out the wrong answers on purpose? Did you write the 80 in the bracket? Did you draw the product line? And you wrote the 8? Bring your book, let's see. Right, what about our signs?
Positive.
Both is positive or both is negative. Because that is positive, both is going to be?
Positive.
Let's see. You didn't do my homework, Michael? Why did you do my homework? Project. When you get home, you must do your maths first. Not your project. You don't want to do maths next year. But if you carry on like that, you're not going to do maths, man. You don't want to pass your next exam. Okay, who got the sum right? Right, where do you guys go wrong? For those of you who got it wrong. To me, where do you go wrong? To me wasn't here. Okay, yes? Anybody else? Nobody, okay? Look at number 3. We got x squared plus 7x plus 10. So where do we start? Product line. So what do we get? 1 and 1. For 10? 1 and 10? 2 and 5. We add or subtract the products? We add them. So it's going to be 1 times 5, 1 times 2. Not so? So we're going to get x and a 2, x and a 5. What about our signs? Both is going to be the same sign. In this case, take the sign of the middle term, which is? Yes?
The last sign.
Yes?
Represents whether you add the products or you minus the products.
Yeah.
And then the middle one just minus like if this is negative, if it's positive.
Yeah. If the last term is positive. If the last term is positive, that tells us about the signs, both signs must be the same. Why? Because a positive times a positive is a positive, or a negative times a negative is a positive. Can you see? That's why the signs will be the same. Do we let's look at number 4? What goes on the line here? 1 and 1. 1 and 15. 1 and 15. So do we add or subtract our products? Okay, so do we add or subtract our products? We add it. So 1 times 15 is 15, 1 times 1 is 1. 15 plus 1 is?
16.
What am I looking for?
8.
1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 plus 3 is?
8.
And that's what I want. So in other words, in our brackets we got? X and 3, X and 5. What about our signs? Same sign. Both plus or both minus. In this case, both is going to give you a? Did you see that, people?
Yes.
Okay, so that's number 4. Let's look at number 5. So here we got y squared minus 5y plus 6. Now product line goes what? 1 and 1. For 6? 1 and 6. 2 and? Do we add or subtract the products? Add. So 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. You add it, you get? 7. I'm looking for 5. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. You add, you get? That's what I want. So in a bracket goes a 1 and a 2. A 1 and a 3. You see that, people? There's an x and a 2. An x and a y is absolutely. Sorry about that. Whole time you're busy with x's, no? Then the y come. No? You got y and y. What about our signs? Both is going to be the same sign, not so?
Yes.
So both is going to be. And people, if you are unsure about your solutions, you multiply it out and you'll see if you get a sum out. Okay, yes, Michael.
So basically, the last digit sign determines whether the sign should be the same or not, and the one in the middle determines if it's
No. If the last term is positive, no? Then the signs in the bracket must be either plus or minus. Okay. So like here, let's look at the first one. You look here, this is plus, so the signs must be the same. So both is going to be plus. You see that? This is plus, so the signs must be the same. But there's minus, so both is minus. Can you see that? This is plus, so the signs must be the same. So both is going to be minus. You see? Now you're going to go with the minus ones and see what's happening here. Okay. Look at number 6. You got a squared plus 5a minus 4. Right. So what do we do right here on the product line? Sorry? 1 and 1? 1 and 14? 2 and 7. Do we add or subtract the products? Subtract. So what's 1 times 14? 1 times 1 gets 30. I'm looking for 5. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 2 is subtract to get 5. So in other words, it's a 1 and a 2, a 1 and a 7. Can you see that?
Yes.
So in our brackets goes a and a 2, a and a 7. What about our signs? Opposite signs. 1 plus, 1 minus. So the bigger product takes the sign of the middle term. Does it make a note here? 1 plus, 1 minus, 1 minus, 1 plus. The bigger product takes the sign of the middle term. So what's the middle term? Plus. So between 7a and 2a, which one is bigger? 7. The 7. Okay, the plus 7, minus 2. But if you had written the 7 first, then your answer would have gone that way around. Eh? Remember, the sign moves with the bracket. Okay, any confusion here? Look at number 7. We got p squared plus 3p minus 10. What do I do here? Product line. So what goes on the line? 1 and 1. 1 and 10. 2 and 5. Okay. So what do we do now? Do we add or subtract our products? We subtract them. So 1 times 10 is 10. 1 times 1 is? We subtracted, you get? 9. I'm looking for 3. 1 times 5 is? 1 times 2 is? Subtract it, you get? And that's what I want. So it goes into the brackets. So there will be a P and a 2, a P and a. What about our signs? Same sign? No, opposite sign. So one must be plus and one must be minus. But the bigger product takes the sign of the middle term. So the middle term is positive. So what is going to be? The 5 is going to be positive and the 2 is going to be negative. You guys understand? Am I moving too fast? No. Okay. Number 8, you got x squared plus x minus 12. We start off with a product line. So what goes here? 1 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. So what do we have here? We add and subtract the products. The last term is negative, so subtract the product. 1 times 12 is 12. 1 times 1 is? Subtract it, you get? 11. What am I looking for? 1. Can you see that? 1 times 6 is? 6. 1 times 2 is? 2. Subtract it, you get? 4. Still not what I'm looking for. 1 times 4 is? 4. 1 times 3 is? 3. So it's a 1 and a 3, a 1 and a 4. Okay? So it's going to be x and a 3 and x and a. What about our signs? Plus and a minus, not so? Yes, sir. So the bigger one is going to be? Positive, because that's positive. Can you see that? Yes, sir. The bigger one is? 4. I'm going to give you 4. Okay? Yes, Gabby, hands up. Good idea. Okay, let's look at number 9. Here we got x squared minus 2xy minus 15y squared. So where do we start? Product line. What goes on the line? 1 and 1? 1 and 15? 3 and 5. Do we add or subtract the products? Subtract. Okay? So 1 times 15 is? 15. 1 times 1 is? 1. Can you get? 14. I'm looking for? 2. 1 times 5 is? 1 times 3 is? Subtract it, you get? That's what I want. So in the brackets go a 1 and a 3 and a 1 and a 5. So what's going to go here? An x and a 3 y. Can you see that, people? And then an x and a 5. What about our signs? What about our signs? It's minus. So plus and minus, or minus and plus. Okay? You okay to me? What you busy with? You got it on your tablet? Now what you busy with there? What is that? You just pointed now and you tell me you're busy with that on your phone. Now when I come, you put your phone on. Why do you need the phone if it's on the board? Huh? Sorry? You just check if the Wi-Fi is on. Now if the Wi-Fi is on, now what? If the Wi-Fi is off, then what? You must Wi-Fi here, man. Right, let's go again. The last term is plus, a minus. So what about our signs? A plus and a minus must be different. And it will be the sign of the bigger product will be the sign of the middle term. So which one is going to be bigger? The one being the 5. So the 5 must be negative, and that must be positive. Right, you guys understand? And you can check by multiplying the story out, okay? For those of you who can't see it, you can multiply it out.
Apologies for the interruption. Mrs. Kleinans, can you please buzz the office? Mrs. Kleinans, please buzz the office.
Okay. Let's look at number 10. We got a squared minus 3a minus 18. So where do we start? Start with a product. So here goes 1, 1, 1 and 18, 2 and 9. We add or subtract our products. Subtract. Why? Because the last term is negative. So 1 times 18 is 18. 1 times 1 is 1. Minus you get 7. I'm looking for 3. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 2 is 2. You subtract you get 7. Still not what I'm looking for. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. You subtract you get. And that's what I'm looking for. So in our bracket goes a 1 and a 3. So it's going to be an A and a 3, a 1 and a 6, which means to say an A and a. What about our signs? Different signs. 1 plus, 1 minus. So the bigger one is going to be the sign of the middle term, which is minus. So the 6 is minus and that one is. Okay, you guys understand? Any confusion? No? Go one back here quickly. These were of the examples on page 39. This is number 8. Write that one down quickly. We'll do that one together. And then you write, you draw the product line for me. Right, so let's go with the product line. What goes on the line? 1 and 1. 1 and 15.
My apologies for the interruption. All RCLs, can you please report to the front of the school?
Do I add the products or just
All
subtract the products?
RCLs, please report to the front of the school.
1 times 15 is 15. 1 times 1 is 1. You add it, you get 16. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 3 is? You add it, you get? So in the brackets goes 1 and a 3, 1 and a 5. Okay. So what goes here? X squared. Why squared? Because that is x squared. Can you see that, people? Here's x squared. For 15, 5 and yx. You remember x squared times x squared is x4. I'll show you now how that works. Okay. People, there's plus. So what about our signs? Same. So both is going to be? And we can test it. This is correct. Okay, we can test now by multiplying the story out. So x squared plus 5, x squared plus 3. So let's multiply. X squared times x squared, x to the exponent 4. X squared times 3, 3x squared. 5 times x squared, 5 times 3. Can you see? So you will have x4, 3x squared plus 5x squared is 8x squared plus 15. You don't just walk out like this. So what's going to happen to the stuff you don't understand here? Who's going to explain to you? What's a video? Right? Right, get this on this tomorrow, no? Right? Yes? Yes. Okay. So you understand, Michael? If I multiply that out, I get the sum out again. That is correct like that. Okay. Let's look at number 9. Yes? Ask?
Number 9, the one he gave us, he said that it must be like x plus y.
But now, but wait, in number 9, where is the y square? It's at the back. That is why I had put the y squared at the back. Whereas this here, the x4 is in front. Okay? So it has to be there. Okay, let's look at number 9 quickly. So what do you notice about number 9? We've got x squared plus 7 minus 8x. What do you notice here? Not in the proper order. So how are we going to do that? Change. That is, in other words, x squared minus 8x plus 7. So do your thing quickly. Alright, so what goes on the product line? Sorry? 1 and 1. 1, 7. You add or subtract our products? We add them. 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 1 is 1. You add it, you get? 8. And that's what I want. There's a 1 and a 1. Here I'm writing in the bracket. X and a 1. A 1 and a 7 goes? X and a 7. What about our signs? Same sign or opposite sign? This is positive. So same sign. So both is going to be plus or both is going to be minus. In this case, both is minus. Why? Because of the middle term is minus. Okay, yes, Michael?
So the middle term is negative.
Yes.
So it's like plus and minus.
No. You see, if the middle term is negative, let's go again. X minus 1. So what do you say this should have been?
Plus and minus.
So plus 1 minus 7. Okay. is multiply. X times x, x squared. X times negative 7, negative 7x. 1 times x, 1 times negative 7. That's going to give you x squared. Negative 7 plus 1. Negative 7 plus 1 is negative 6x minus 2. Is that the same? No. That is why I'm saying the signs need to be the same. So you've got x minus 1, x minus 7. X times x, x squared. X times negative 7, negative 7x. Negative 1 times x, negative x. Negative 1 times negative 7, which in turn gives us x squared minus 8x plus 7, which makes that correct. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to look at mixed factorization. Mixed factorization. Sorry? Yeah, now we're going to incorporate all that factorization in one. That's why it's called mixed. You got mixed forms now. These are the examples on page 40. Examples on page 40.
Your attention, please. All grade 8s, can you please make your way down? All grade 8s, can you please make your way down now?
Down way? The field. Sorry? Alright, let's see. So, we are told, this is the examples on page 40. Okay. So now we're looking at mixed factorization. It is often necessary to use a combination of the different types of factorization in order to factorize an expression completely. So, whenever we have, in the first case, a common factor, we always take out the common factor first. Remember the first type of factorization we did? Yes. So if it's a common factor, we take out the common factor first. Okay, and then the second thing, check whether the second bracket needs to be further factorized. Okay, where factorization can be applied to the second bracket. So let's look at the first sum. Okay, sorry? You want to write it down? Okay, she wants to write it down. It's a good idea, so write that down. I know the bell is going to ring soon. So I'm going to give you some homework quickly. Okay, if you listen for homework from that factorization booklet that I gave you guys. Remember, I've sent to the group the factorization book A to C. You remember? Right. So we got up until worksheet C. We got to worksheet C. Book C, worksheet 1. We finished that. Not so. I can send that to the group if you want. Would you like me to send it? You don't have to take a photo. So I want you guys to do book C, worksheet 2, 3 and 4 for tomorrow. Worksheet 2, 3 and 4 for tomorrow. So we'll start off with that, and then we will go into that mixed factorization that I've cut for today. Okay. You guys know what to do? Yes. Okay. So it's book C, worksheet 2 to 4. And somebody repost that in the group. Must I do it?
Grade 9s, can you please come down to the court area? All grade 9s, can you please come down to the court area?
You guys grade 9? Yes, Alright, you guys may leave. I'm going to post in the group now. Right, sing. Alright. Enjoy this every day, people. Good afternoon, class.